Today's Catalunya Grand Prix, pole position for Fabio Quartararo. The front row men all going for the medium. Mir, Valentino Rossi and Pol Espargaro. There's a real mix, isn't there, in those top four rows in terms of rear tyre choice. Marquez is going medium as he launches that Repsol Honda from row 5. Nakagami are on row 6. Front row, 5 poles in a row. Last time out in Mugello with Franco Morbidelli and Maverick Vinales. Aleix Espargaro on home soil, heads row 3. Fast-starting KTMs and Ducatis around him.
There's the world champion, Joan Mir, charger from pit lane. Martin will start the warm-up lap and he will join the back of the grid.
And Fabio Quartararo, the world championship leader. Just under 20,000 fans then. Crowd in a MotoGP arena since Valencia 2019. And will they witness Fabio Quartararo come to Premier Class since Christian Sauron back in 1988? Even this man was.
Question of all, catch me if you can. Can anyone wait? Here, the Monster Energy Grand Prix of Catalunya. Our eyes to the centre of the picture and the light. Come on, this could be perfect for him. But here comes Miller again. He's catching back up. He's going to try and outbrake him. He does.
Miller exactly where he wanted to be. It looks like Miguel Oliveira got away exceptionally well as well too. He did got the dream launch off the line, but he's been knocked back to third.
That was a great move from Oliveira. Very brave indeed to go up into.
Who's had a disastrous start for him. He's losing places already, but not the case, and Aprilia will never in a million years out-drag a Ducati.
It's in the fastest lap of the race for good measure as well. On the approach to turn 1, Joan Mir uses the slipstream of the Aprilia in Quartararo. Marquez is now up to 6th. This is looking a little bit like the old Marquez again.
The issues with front tyre pressure or temperature. Quartararo gets through on Aleix Espargaro into turn 4. Oliveira
out the race. Quartararo now desperately trying to find a way through on Joan Mir. There's the lead from the helicopter. Crashed out. The difficult start to 2021 unfortunately continues. There's no home glory for Pol.
Through turn number 11, there was no way through.
Top 10 have all just broken away slightly from Alex Marquez. It's not got any better for Valentino Rossi either. He's outside the points at the moment. He's one place. Bagnaia behind them. The gap came down.
Made an overtake. Oh, somebody's down there at turn 10. There's a faller at turn 10.
It's Marquez. It is. World champion has crashed out. Good spot there, Matt. But Mark, unfortunately, the good news is he's absolutely.
He's never ever had 3 DNFs in a row in his career, Steve. An unwanted milestone then. For some vital world championship points into turn 10. Well, he got away with it 2 years ago when Jorge Lorenzo was all of his own doing, though, this time. Marc Marquez down and out again.
First rider into the 130. It was a shortcut at turns 1 and 2. That means he would have just outbraked himself and decided to pump it through. But Zarco, then, the fastest man on circuit at the moment, in 5th.
Can you believe it? He was looking good for a top 6 challenge here today. Wonder whether he could see Zarco just starting to really cut.
Binder and Pecco Bagnaia at this stage just struggling to maintain the pace of Espargaro and Vinales ahead of him, but a real mixed bag in terms of rear tyres, so you can't read too much into it at this early stage.
Full of laps, Quartararo was struggling to do 42s. The deviation between his lap times over the full race distance would change. Zarco is not going to win the game of braking there against Miller down into the first corner. Marquez could defy
somebody else gone down. We can hear a crash in our headphones.
There has.
The Espargaro boys have both crashed out here.
I was just wondering for how much longer Aleix could start. Turn 10's claimed another victim then. It's already taken Marc Marquez out of the race, so now it takes
and Pecco Bagnaia picks off Brad Binder. Vinales is lapping very quickly, as quick as they'll do. So, as it stands, Quartararo would take a 33-point lead. In well aware here that he doesn't want to use too much tyre up, but he's going through on turn 5.
You can see edge grip than Oliveira. He was able to run the tyre to line. And then there was just enough of a gap there to fire up the inside, quickly retaliate, because normally so far this year, bar the arm pump issue in Jerez, of course, from Fabio Quartararo.
Can he now then use the power of that KTM, which does have a slight edge in top speed? He's now going to try, and we'll keep our eyes peeled on it. Alex Rins is watching on, his crew chief Manu there as well. As we cross the line, we'll be halfway over Miguel Oliveira, and that may well be enough for him not to be slipstreamed.
It's the corner speed. It's the corner speed. No, he can't. There was just enough of a gap there that Quartararo got. He knew he had to do it, that Quartararo. He's normally so good at it. He did it last time out in Mugello against Zarco, passed him on turn. Try and do the same here to Oliveira.
Simon, your thoughts on the midway point of this Catalan Grand Prix?
Yeah, for the KTM man here. Now then, Oliveira's got the slipstream. Can he get up the inside in the braking zone?
Fantastic stuff. This is more of a race than Fabio Quartararo was expecting. Fabio Quartararo around turn 3 on the approach to turn 4. Will it be a little look into turn?
Be close enough this time around to lunge up the inside of Oliveira down the hill.
Zarco's through on Jack Miller. Would be for Miguel Oliveira, where he able to pull it off.
Ginormous feather in his cap, wouldn't it be? Espargaro family. It won't be a happy Sunday evening for the Espargaro boys, but he was a long way further around the corner than Marc Marquez was when his front tyre cried no more. He was Aleix Espargaro knows another top 6 opportunity slips through his fingers, sadly.
Himself a couple of tenths advantage as they make their way down onto the start-finish straight. These are the 5 on screen with 10.
He's super intelligent, super smart, they all are, but Miguel Oliveira, he marries
on Mir, not close enough. Lecuona's doing a fantastic job. Iker Lecuona, shout out to him after the 2 crashes. Delhi cannot get things going. Bastianini is 11th. Alex Marquez doing a great job, 12th ahead of Rossi.
In second place. Looking back from the world champion Suzuki X-Star machine briefly to Johann Zarco. Now then, top gear in 6, and he just eases on by, blitzes Joan Mir's factory Suzuki. That's got to be... He'd have known it was coming, and there's nothing he can do about it whatsoever.
Interesting to try and make life a bit more difficult for Johann Zarco, but there was no stopping the Bologna bullet powering past
on that last lap. Just over 3 tenths they are split between the two, and there's Franco Morbidelli
back with this group now.
Just found it behind him.
This is fascinating, Matt. This is not the race we expected to unfold. Luckily, Rossi's crashed. Rossi has crashed out here, and the disappointing season. He lost that.
Just the ride height device, guys.
The ride height device has gone in, but Rossi is out. Unfortunately, stat sheet not looking too rosy at the mat with 8 laps to go, because what is it going to be in a couple of laps' time, where really we have no idea.
Or Vinales, I mean, Maverick Vinales has had in the slipstream behind the factory Suzuki of Joan Mir, who's so good on the brakes down at the first corner. Vinales just down Steve. An unlucky turn 13 thing. We were just saying he was on course for one of it.
Good to see that he's relatively okay. So are these two now starting to really show their class with 7 laps to go. Still Bagnaia and Binder in 7th and 8th. They can't quite get close.
It's the battle between... Makes you wonder, Steve, these kind of performances from Miguel Oliveira. They've been busy in the transfer contract until the end of 2024. I don't think it's going to be too long before they re-up him with Oliveira.
Just further back there, you can see...
And Miguel is earning a few more dollars in that deal.
Bagnaia, because he's got rhythm to potentially close up on Mir and Vinales.
And it's the crucial phase of it, where the tyres are going to be deteriorating at a fairly rapid rate. You can't...
Bagnaia, he needed to do that about 4 or 5 laps ago. Jack Miller was the fastest of the top 4 last time around. Do not discount...
It's taken 21 laps to do it. That's how good he's been in terms of speed and consistency. And to show him that front wheel, look at that consistency from Oliveira. Stunning. How many 40-point...
Quartararo struggling to stay with him at the moment. Quartararo not able to sort of get into that same rhythm he had yesterday in free practice. Yeah, he's in trouble. Zarco's right on top of him now.
Can you believe this? Fabio Quartararo may well lose the podium. Given here for the World Championship leader, and of course Johann Zarco knows this is clawing back some ground in the championship. As big risks here in this last sector. Just make sure you run the lines, hit your braking markers, and stay to 6th gear. Reel in that factory Yamaha ahead of him. Quartararo's got big bother here.
Yeah, there we go. 5 for Fabio Quartararo. He's going to try. Oh, he's almost lost the front there, and he's shaking his head. Bookie's favourite, Fabio Quartararo, doesn't look like he's winning the Catalan Grand Prix. There. Of his leathers.
Guys, is that
necklace and his bare chest.
What's going on? What's happened to the leathers here? And the trouble is...
Can you believe it? I mean, he had his arm pump issues in Jerez.
I've never seen anything like that. There's Miller then, up the inside, it will be a block pass. He will move up into 3rd place, and the man who was favoured... What has happened to the leathers of Fabio Quartararo? Answers on a postcard, please.
Combination of the leathers and the fading front tyre grip, whatever it is that's his biggest problem, he's desperately trying...
In terms of this either, because it's not safe, is it? Let's be honest.
No.
I don't know whether there's any... honestly think, Matt, that Fabio Quartararo, he's not completely done. He's not got this in the bag just yet. We're getting you, ladies and gentlemen, that Johann Zarco has not won a MotoGP race. This is 73rd attempt. Great speed. They drop down the hill into the last couple of corners. We're going to start the last lap. There's half a second between Miguel Oliveira.
Will he be black flag? Will there be a DQ? It's all down to the last lap then. Oliveira, final place on the podium.
Johann Zarco. Will we be closing Miguel Oliveira?
No, he can't. Miguel Oliveira, normally in these situations, mentally is like granite. Got a 3-second penalty. His podium has gone.
The checkered flag is out, and it looks like this one is Miguel Oliveira's. Johann is. It will be close across the line, but Miguel Oliveira wins on the factory KTM here. He finished third with a penalty. Miller moves up one spot. But take a bow, Miguel Oliveira.
But he will not be on the podium. A 3-second penalty coming the way of the Frenchman. He's lost crucial world champ with the GP podiums, his 8th runner-up spot. But Miguel Oliveira, absolutely brilliant. His front tyre we saw was graining badly as well. Dani Pedrosa, so much credit needs to go.
This is how it stands then. The gap at the top has been cut. Incredible. I don't think that's right. That championship standings, that's wrong. Yeah. That graphic is wrong. He was uncomfortable. I mean, pick the bones out of that. Well, one thing we can say is MotoGP, people would have put their house on Quartararo, not just winning this, but winning it by some margin this morning.
It's Jack Miller's on the podium. Miguel Oliveira, that was an awesome job by him.
Right, let's see here. I mean, he had little option but to do that, really, but